Hey guys, today is March the 17th, and I wanted to go over AppHarvest using some cycle analysis and Gantt theory. So, you guys already know I bought in somewhere between September October at 697, I think 608 or 607, uh, assuming that the cycle was bottoming out here and that we were going to forecast, higher prices. But what happened was that it continued selling lower, and it finally found the bottom. I'm assuming it's the bottom, but you never know. We'll see. Somewhere between January and February. What's interesting here is that these are closes. This is not high and lows. These are just close price. And February 22nd was that last hump, not the high, because the high was February 2nd. The last close before it's just started going down was February the 22nd. And you can see this last close over here was somewhere around February 18th, 22nd, and prices now are making higher highs and higher lows. This down here, this is what they call the dominant cycle, which is the 98. And the cycle turned positive on January, let's say February the first week. And it tops out April 2nd. So somewhere around the first week of April, this cycle tops out. Now there's a bigger cycle in play, which is the 333 cycle. And that one bottomed out somewhere around November. And the peak comes in around June of this year. So is AppHarvest going to just continue going higher and make a double top in the next couple of months? No. I mean, it would be nice if it does because we'll all make money. But the reality is that it's gonna chuck along higher, hopefully, and maybe hit the center of gravity, and maybe could just stall around there. So who knows? But I just wanted to show you that the cycles are up on both important time frames or time cycles, which is the 333 and the 98. Now, when you merge those two together, what you get is called a composite. And a composite tops out somewhere around April, first or second week, and you see that it pulls back. But the 333 cycle is more uh, important because it peaks out here, and that one comes in around July. So we got to keep our eyes open and vigilant between April, and if it pulls back and pushes higher into July. So if we get a double top somewhere around June, July, just got to be cautious. And it could continue even pushing higher past that. But I'm being realistic. I don't know if it's going to get up there, but I'm looking at least for prices to go higher especially from $2. So that's that on cycles on AppHarvest. I wanted to show you something which is find it interesting. You remember the lawsuits that were going on last year? Look at November. Alert, AppHarvest law firm announces lead plaintiff deadline November 23rd. And it kept going, it kept going. All these firms, I don't know how many firms, there must have been hundreds of firms coming out. The law firm announces it's investigating claims against AppHarvest. And it keeps going on. I think somewhere around the 20. Final investigation reminder, the 23rd, 24th. And then it was just all quiet. I don't even know whatever happened with that lawsuit. If it got resolved or not. I'm not really too concerned about it. But I just wanted to show you that sometimes you just have to kind of uh, go with your gut sometimes on certain things. I'm not going to say that, any of these lawsuits on any other instrument or stock, is legit or not. But who knows if they were doing this just to bring the price down, spook everybody, get in at the bottom, and then write it up. It's just my thought, my opinions. You take it, as it may. But it was just interesting, so I figured I'd show you that because now the latest news is just all pretty much about quarterly reports and updates and stuff like that, and all these lawsuits just disappeared. So here we have App Harvest on the weekly. And if we put a fib retracement, the center of gravity for this brand new stock is $10.60. So I'm looking, and I think we opened up around 10.01. So anywhere between 10.01, 10.60, I think that's a good target, a reasonable target. I mean, it could go high, it could go to 14. You can see that there's a swing low there, which will probably be resistance, and you're opening up IPO. So $10 is reasonable. It's not gonna go straight up, but pullbacks and all that. Maybe you could hit it in April. Maybe you could hit it in July. I'm just kind of giving you a rough target forecast. One of the cycles that I used, that's the new one. When it opened up, I applied it from the IPO open to that swing high February 2nd. And right here, this is where I was thinking maybe it was going to bottom, and it did it, and it pushed lower. Next thing I do is I add another cycle now. Because now we have a high, and now we, in theory, look like we made a low. I'm going to take that out here. Within this original cycle, I think I skipped something. I wanted to show you some of the fractal cycles that I had. From here to this high, lines up. You have this harmonic fractal, and then it breaks up into more harmonics, and they kind of get off a little sync. There's a middle of here, but the little smaller one gets off sync. I put it there sometimes to see it, but it's hard to use that one. I kind of sometimes hide it. But this one looks more realistic. That gives me the dates. It took 52 weeks, 300 and I think 64 days from high to low. It took 34 weeks from IPO open to the February 2nd, 338 days. So this is the new one we have now. And I keep both there. Okay, they're both important. This is the first impulse wave, and this is the second one. And I'll leave that there. So you guys know on the original, on the top of the video, it says somewhere around April. So April, May could potentially be, could get really toppy. And now we've used this swing. This one goes all the way to January of 2023. Those are other things I look at also, and I keep it on the back of my mind as we get closer and project closer to these dates. But right now, this is the one that's the most important. You put the fib retracement, center of gravity. That's kind of the target I'm looking for. The super trend looks like this week, if we could close above the 558, that's a buy signal, but it could probably pull back. So you can see that there's a lot of buyers piling in. Maybe the pullback might not happen, but ideally you would like to buy in a pullback. So that was a nice little pullback to buy into. This one right here. This one kind of caught everybody by surprise. It was kind of hard. Once this week set its place, its candle, that little pullback, that was the opportunity of next week. This is the week we're in right now. Yep. So that's all I wanted to show you on this chart. just how I place my cycles, especially on a brand new stock. We'll go to the next clip. Okay, I created a master chart for AppHarvest, my laptop, and what I have here on the chart is a 50 SMA, the RSI, and we'll look at what's going on here. We could just take the RSI right now. It's not really that important. What comes out at me first? What I do, especially on a brand new stock like this, I want to kind of see what kind of pattern it lays out. And we see here when it opened on its IPO to the high, it took 7 months. Number seven, Gan was always talking about number seven. It was 7 months from the open to the high. A lot of people think it was, well, he really used it for 7 years, but you missed the point. The point is the number seven, that vibration that number seven has. Could be 7 months, could be 7 days, could be 7 weeks, could be 7 years. Just the importance of the number seven. It took from the February 2nd all the way to this low. What is this low here? 131, January 31st, from February 2nd, 363 days, almost. Almost a year. And then that's that. And then from the IPO open all the way to the low as of right now, it was 19 months and change, almost 20. I save that there and just kind of see if any of these numbers or patterns show up in the future. Can't really do any solar cycle because we don't really have that much data. Got a trend line there. Another thing you want to do when you get a brand new stock, you want to put the IPO price. So that's a target. If we could get above that, then we above where we originally opened on June the 11th, I believe, 11th or 12th. So you always want to have that there. That's kind of like the birthday, 1001. Then you add some stuff, Fibonacci. You can see this 1213 right here. Center of gravity is 22. So long term, within this range, that could be a nice target to the upside long term. Once it gets to 50%, 2276. Some advanced resistance and support from this swing. You got the $8.61 and that 14.60. And then squaring the range from that high to that low. So this is the 1/4, which is that 1266. This is the 1/6, which is that 932, almost close to the $10. And then this is the 1/8, 765. So those are levels I'll be watching. I know in today's open it's probably higher. As long as AppHarvest starts trending, making higher highs, higher lows, and maybe trends higher, staying above this angle, you can show that the price action is going to be very strong and very bullish. Let's take that off. And I think that's it. That's all pretty much I wanted to show you. I don't want to do, a long video. Plus, there's not really much data to even dissect more information because this is all we got right here. And, we're above the 50. I didn't really put too many moving averages. We always popped up, above it and then went right below it and kept trending lower. Right now, we're above it, and let's see how long we can stay above it. Hopefully you like this video, and I'll keep you posted on AppHarvest. I'm in it for the long haul. Bullish. Just trail your stops and see how this AppHarvest behaves in the future.